Hey guys, Sableye here, and welcome back to another episode of Crazy Climbing. Today we're going to keep things going with the Xerneas team that we featured in the last episode. And you know what? Xerneas, can you go 4-0 for us on Crazy Climbing? This will be the last two battles with the Xerneas team, unless, of course, things go quickly and then we can get a third battle in, but I think that's very unlikely. But most likely the last few games with the Xerneas team, guys. And we've got a Groudon. So good old-fashioned Xerneas, good old-fashioned Groudon. Throwback to 2019, 2016, if they were on the same team, it would be even funnier. But unfortunately, one restricted slot does not allow for that. So Xerneas versus Groudon here, and Groudon not a fire type yet, so works in Xern's favor. However, that Venusaur and that Amoonguss are slightly annoying. So I guess is there game plan Trick Room? Like, I just want to lead Lapras, right? But I'm scared of the Venusaur just going Frenzy Plant and just dropping me. Like, that's a legitimate fear, which is concerning. You know, back in the day, you'd be like, no, Venusaur's not going to have Frenzy Plant, but it legitimately could just have Frenzy Plant right now, thanks to Max moves being broken. But I think I go Instant Lapras. Like, I don't see much else to do outside of anything like that. I think I need to. I need to have a late game Xerneas potential. And I really have no matchup for Venusaur. I think I almost have to go Landorus. But that's not even a Venusaur answer unless I max it. And I'm not maxing it because I'm going to max the Lapras. So Amoonguss isn't a Venusaur answer, is it? There's no way Amoonguss is a Venu answer. I'm going to go Landorus just because it intimidates the Groudon. For no other reason am I going Landorus. I don't know how good it is. But this is kind of the point of the team, guys. Was to get Lapras in early. Max, get the screens up, come into Xerneas, and then even if they max, you can get the Geomancy up because there's a very good chance you're going to live whatever they go for. You get the Geomancy up, and from there you win, and they're just going to go Sun. My opponent not messing around. They're just like, hey, Sun. So, not the greatest. However, this almost does force the Venusaur to max, right? Because they're scared of Fake Out. So I wonder if I don't max Lapras here. Pivot Instant out into Landorus, because it's probably going to be a Precipice Blades from this Groudon, excuse me. And just protect Lapras for the time being. And then I have Instant to pivot back and get an Airstream up into the Venusaur, and I might be alright if I can bait that. But the key thing is here, they have to Dynamax. The moment they Sleep Powder, I'm in a little bit of trouble. But I think they have to respect the fact that I could just Fake Out and drop the Venusaur, so they're either going to have to either protect or max. And I think they're probably more likely to max to match my max, but we'll see. Let's see if we can get this read right. This is it's a little aggressive, but I don't really have much of a better Sun matchup, sadly. So we got a Groudon at -2. Even if they SD, they're just back to neutral, which is perfectly fine. Venusaur is going to Dynamax. Okay, or the Groudon. I guess it could be the Groudon. If they max a -2 Groudon, that is an A+. Except for the fact that they could just start Sleep Powdering. But, yeah, they're maxing beating. Like I said, I kind of forced them to have to respect the Fake Out pressure. Now, if they Quake the Lando switch in, this is phenomenal. I doubt they do it. I really doubt that they do it. But we'll see. We're going to get the Protect up with the Lapras here. What are we going to see? Justify Lash, okay. That's obviously going into the Protect. That's through Protect. That is through a Protect. Is that Life Orb? It's not even Life Orb. That's just Venusaur being broken. I wonder if that is off Frenzy Plant, because that did a lot. But anyways, we're going to get this Rock Slide out. -2 Groudon. Not really much of a threat here. The Vine Lash is the problem, however. The Vine Lash is the problem. So we're deviating from our game plan right now. I'm 100% going to max this Lando and just try to get an Airstream up. And I actually think I pivot back into Instant. Yeah, that's fair. It keeps Lapras alive, gives me an extra tool. And from there, I should be alright to win this game, I think. Of course, depending on how much this... If they Vine Lash Lando, things get interesting. But, like, they still have to be scared of Lapras. I don't know. This is a tough one. I think I needed to call where the Instant was coming in here. Lapras just protected, so I think that's the safer target for them to hit with Vine Lash, which is why I brought Instant on this side. However, they need to get rid of Lando, so maybe I should have swapped Instant in for the Lando. Take the take Divine Lash there and max the Lapras. But I don't think maxing Lapras here was really going to win me this game. I think it was a little bit too weak. Divine Lash is coming out. Where's it going? Nice. Okay. So we did get that read right, which is great. Got turn 1 somewhat semi-quasi right, but Airstream gonna come out. No Cobra Berry, so this should be doing good chunk of damage. Very, very nice damage from there, which you'll love to see. Is my opponent going to try and match this with a Swords Dance? He's got to match these Intimidates to some extent at some point. No? Okay, -3 Rock Slide. That still did so much. This is -3. But anyways, Lando should be good to take anything here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to preserve Instant, because late game Fake Out is great, and I think Venusaur might try to max guard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Airstream the Groudon to get the chip, and I'm going to just pivot in. I think Lapras is the most quote-unquote sackable mon right now. So that's what we're going to go with here, and I think just pivoting around their Dynamax is probably the best way to take care of this. Once again, they're actually going to just attack. They're going to Vine Lash. That's going into Lando. Lando, of course, does take it. I don't know if I take the Lash plus a Rock Slide, though, after this. Still 50% to Groudon. Very, very respectable. If Landorus survives the turn, I think we're in a great spot. I don't know why he didn't protect. Why not protect? You know? Lando is alive. Like, why not max guard to stall a turn of my max? But, I don't know, maybe I'm just overreading things. Maybe I'm overreading things. Lapras very low, Lando very low. Their max is gone. Their threat to Xerneas is also technically very low now as well. I have one more turn of Lando. Even if they protect Veno, and Airstream will take it out. So that is 100% the play into that slot. And I now Freeze Dry into the Groudon. I think I lose both Mons straight up here. But then that gives me Fake Out Geomancy pressure, and I think I'm okay with that. I also might just kill the Groudon with a Freeze Dry. It's also -3. So really, it's actually probably better if I don't kill it. Because then I have a free Fake Out into the other target while I can Geomancy. Of course, they could have Indeedee in the back, so it's not a guaranteed win con yet. But I don't hate how this game has played out. I am a little bit kind of upset that I didn't just Airstream the Venusaur last turn and drop it and have a free max move into something else that wants to switch in here. But now he protects. So now he protects. Either way, this Airstream should still pick it off through the protect. We saw how much it did through max. So this Airstream should still be enough into the Venu. I don't get that protect this time. Like I said, I feel like if you were going to protect, last turn was the turn for it. It's okay. We're going to take the Venusaur. Very gracious donation from my opponent right there. And Venu's going to drop. With that, does this Freeze Dry kill this Groudon? That's basically the question. We are Life Orb, so honestly, I think it might. Beautiful. Okay. We basically just traded 2 Mons aside there, which is not the greatest thing in the world. However, that was the last turn of Vines. So Xerneas comes in at full health. Venusaur and Amoonguss could very well be my last, not Venusaur, but the Amoonguss and would you run Hattering? Amoonguss Hattering in the back? I don't know what they have in the back here. But whatever it is, as long as it is, if I can Fake Out, I think it's over. Like if I can just go Fake Out late game Xerneas Geomancy, we're fine. However, if they can't, it's Torkoal. Okay. Torkoal what? Hattering? Torkoal Hat? You have to have a Trick Room set, so it's gotta be Hat. Okay, Torkoal Hattering coming in. It's a free Fake Out into the Hat. There's no Psychic Terrain. There's no max things that it can go for. I don't want the Trick Room going up, so that's the reason I'm hitting the Hat with the Fake Out. I can take an Eruption. I don't really want to take an Eruption, but I can take an Eruption. So we get the free Geomancy up and a Fake Out into the Hattery. I was gonna say I'm AV Instant on this team, but I get all my teams mixed up. I am not AV Instant on this team. So chances of me living an Eruption are slim. However, I think Xerneas can single-handedly win this because this is the last turn of Sun. We get the free Fake Out into the Hattering. A Moonblast will drop that next turn. I wonder if I just Dazzle though. We'll see how much Eruption does. If I need to hinder the Eruption damage, I will 100% click Dazzling Gleam. I don't know if it'll kill the Hattering, but I think I may need to try for it. You know, I didn't even learn from the last video. One day, guys, I'm gonna mute my phone, or at least put my phone away as I throw it on my bed. I actually almost missed. Could you imagine going to the store? Yeah, hi, I need a new phone. Okay, Torkoal overheats. That did a lot. That did a lot. Single target into Sun. He is now -2 and the Sun is gone, so Xerneas is perfectly fine. And more importantly, Incineroar is here. A Dazzling Gleam and a Flare Blitz will indeed pick off this hat, so there's no reason for me not to go for it that way. This gets chip damage onto both of them. Obviously kills the Hatterene, covers for the Hatterene Protect, doesn't commit to that slot too much. And of course, if the hat just dies to the Gleam, we're in a phenomenal spot. So, Xerneas getting the Dazzling Gleam up. Hatterene does indeed just drop, which I guess isn't too surprising. It's not the bulkiest thing in the world. I just figured, its special defense stat would be, somewhat decent. But I guess I am a +2 Xerneas. So, Torkoal takes that Flare Blitz. I need Xerneas to survive the turn. You have to go for the overheat, and I think you had to crit. They didn't get the hit. They didn't even connect, so this will 100% seal the game. We get a nice little Moonblast, and I'm just going to keep launching Flare Blitzes. There's really no reason not to. And Moonblast will seal Torkoal. So, late game Xerneas didn't go exactly as planned. I wanted to max Lapras, get the screens up, late game Xerneas that way. But, hey, it worked out, okay? It worked out. Doesn't matter what anyone says, and Xerneas is 3-0 on the channel right now, which you love to see, to be completely honest. I'm not streaming. You guys don't care about their team. I'm not streaming. On stream, I like to show the other team, just to take a look at what they've got. But recording here, we're here for Xerneas. 1444, so not a terrible rating. Not terrible. Nothing crazy, though. I haven't played a lot. But Josh, 1618. Alright. So, Calyrex Jellicent. This is going to be a fun match. But basically what I was saying, imagine going to the phone company with your broken cell phone and just being like, yeah, I need a replacement phone. Sir, do you mind telling me what happened? Well, you're not going to believe this, but I was recording a YouTube video. And, I had my phone on my desk and it was vibrating. So what I did was I took my phone and I just kind of tossed it on my bed. But I missed my bed and it smashed on the floor and broke. Like, what a story that would be. Do you think they'd believe that for a second? Anyways, we got to focus on this Calyrex team. So, what I've liked about Crazy Climbing so far is I don't think we've played a single Kyogre team, which is kind of dumb. Because, realistically, when I play ladder, all I do is play Kyogre. And, of course, there's more to it than Kyogre. But, we've played now, what? 4 matches here, 4 matches with the Dialga team. That's 8 matches. And I haven't pulled a Kyogre? That's kind of wild. Anyways, okay. Stakataka, Xerneas has never been a fan. How do I stop their room? I mean, I can give them room and just go Amoonguss for sleep powders, which is what I'm going to do, I think. I'm going to go Regieleki for the damage. I'm going to go Lando just to put pressure on immediately. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go Lapras. Lapras, Amoonguss, and I still think I want Xerneas here. I still think it's better. Although I can make a case for Instant. But not having a big damage dealer outside of Aleki really kind of scares me here. So we're not going to go Instant. We're going to go Xerneas. I think Xern is able to do it. It's gonna be a question of, can I stop Trick Room, because it's probably gonna be Follow Me. It's gonna be Trick Room after that, so I think I'm gonna have to Volt Switch into Amoonguss, start getting spores off, and kind of go from there. But let's see. What's my opponent bringing in? Indeedee Jellicent. Perfect. I'm gonna Rock Slide, because if I get the flinch, it just works in my favor immensely. Actually, never mind. I led Lapras. For some reason, I thought I led Landorus, so we take that L. Anyways, I think we're still not terrible here. I'm not maxing. By any means, I'm not maxing. I might actually... I'm tempted to E-Webs, right? Because then that's at least big damage into the Jellicent. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to Volt Switch. And I am just going to Freeze Dry into the Jelly. Of course, you're going to follow me. But the moment you don't give it to me, yeah. The moment they give me the double into Jelly like that, I mean, we'll take it. But they're going to follow me. They have to follow me here. Volt Switch goes into this Indeedee. I don't think this double up actually kills Indeedee. Either way, Trick Room's going up. They follow me, so Amoonguss is a safe switch in right here. It's just going to be a Trick Room. And then I basically force them to bring in Stakataka, which I don't know if they really want to bring in. Lapras is going to go for the Freeze Dry here. Going to connect into this Indeedee. Is it enough? It is not enough. So I will Clear Smog that. No reason to put it to sleep. And actually, you know what? I'm actually going to Spore that slot. Do I though? Because he wants it dead, right? He wants this switch in. And I don't know if Lapras is going to be faster or slower than it, because I don't really want Amoonguss taking big damage here. I'm going to just Clear Smog it, and I am going to Freeze Dry into the Jellicent here. This guarantees I get a free Freeze Dry into the Jelly, or whatever switches in for the Jelly. So, I think this is perfectly fine. Like, he doesn't really want to bring in his Trick Room Sweeper. Yeah, okay. He didn't, interesting to know he didn't follow me, so I could have gone for the Spore into Freeze Dry and not given him this free switch in. However, this isn't terrible. Jellicent's going to Shadow Ball, so offensive Jellicent, which normally you only really see a water move on it, and they're going right after this Amoonguss because I think he realizes it's going to put his entire team to sleep right now. But Freeze Dry, 50 over, well, almost closer to 70% there on that Jellicent. So Life Orb Lapras putting in a lot of work even outside of Max, which kind of wild. So what's coming in here? You got to think this Jellicent goes for like a Strength Sap, right? To heal back up. Which kind of makes me reluctant to Max. Like, what I want to do is I just want to Rage Powder Freeze Dry, get rid of the Jellicent, click Rage Powder Perish. Right? However, I am slightly scared that they're going to try and heal up with this Jellicent. Although Freeze Dry does enough. What are you bringing in? It's got to be Stack. If you brought Stack Attacka, it's Stack Attacka coming in right now. Because everything else will be Spored. Anything else is faster than Amoonguss and will get Spored by it. So, it has to be. It's Rotom. Rotom's interesting to me. What I am going to do is I am going to Spore the Jellicent to stop it from healing back up. And I am just going to Max Geyser into this Rotom. This is risky. For one reason. And I think if... I don't know. I'm kind of scared that it's actually going to happen now that I've locked in. Does he click Ally Switch and heal his Jellicent here? Like... Does he do it? I don't know if he does it. But... So did he not bring... He set up Trick Room. But for what? Either way, Rotom's on the field right now. And this is still a little concerning because I can't really safely pivot around right now. Like, if he gets Calyrex in, it's not 100% safe. He's going to Dynamax. That's going to be Rotom. You don't Dynamax the Jellicent here. I don't think I've ever seen anyone Dynamax a Jellicent. As cool as that would be, because I do love Jellicent. I do love Jellicent, but Rotom is indeed going to Max right here, so I don't think Jellicent gets Ally Switch. And if he Ally Switches, it's going to sleep with the Rotom, unless he's, of course, Safety Goggles, which is I've seen before on Rotom Heats. So, I mean, I'm going to be able to take anything from this Rotom. A Max Lightning's not going to kill me, and I will be in Rain if he goes for the Overheat into Amoonguss. So this is perfectly fine, and this is going to do a good chunk of damage as well. With a Max Geyser. Like I said, the only way this play doesn't work is if it was Ally Switch. Spore. Jellicent is the Safety Goggles, so we found a Safety Goggles. You're going to drop the attack stat on my Lapras here as you decide to heal back up your Jelly, which is perfectly fine. I can outpace the Jelly in the long run. You're slower with Rotom. Now that's something. Now that is something else. That I gotta say I wasn't expecting. Like, I'm not a min-speed Lapras, right? But like, that's a min-speed Life Orb Rotom. Excuse me? Excuse me? Anyways, Rotom gonna get hit here. Okay. You know, I don't hate this. Because we're into Rain right now, and at some point you need to be scared of my Lapras. And I'm gonna bring in Xerneas. Because right now I'm really not at a threat of dying. Because I'm in the sun, you have to Lightning. Right? You can Strength Sap. I mean, 2 more turns of Room, I think. 2 more turns of Room, so I get a Geomancy here. I get a Protect off next turn. And I honestly think I'm going to Resonance. Do I Resonance? No, I just Geyser. I just Geyser the Rotom in case you Lightning and I can kill it. You've already wasted your Dynamax, so the Calyrex isn't as big of a threat anymore. But we should be alright. We'll see what this Rotom wants to go for. Like, you have to Flare if you want to survive. Or Max Guard. And either of those 2 options are phenomenal for me. Because what does Jellicent have that's really... Yeah, okay, they're going to switch out. They're trying to force this Calyrex in. Which I think is a very, very smart play. And now I think you Max Guard as well, if you're this Rotom. Team is too nervous to eat berries. I don't have any berries. And there is the correct Max Guard. So, opponent trying to pivot out of this. And he's doing a very good job at it right now. So, 1 more turn of Trick Room. But I do get this free Geomancy up. And... I don't know, like, this is why I like Xerneas so much, because you can get into positions where you force your opponent to be passive, and you just do this, right? So now we're +2, +2, +2. I'm going to simply protect off the Trick Room. There's no reason for me to sit in here and take 2 attacks when I don't need to. And I would almost say Rotom goes back into Jellicent here to eat the Geyser to get more health. So I'm going to protect here. And I could try to set up the Resonance. But is the Resonance really worth it when I can just Geyser this Calyrex into Oblivion? You know what? I'm going to go the Resonance just because I don't want to necessarily get a call wrong and have Jellicent come into that slot. So it's not the greatest plays in the world. Not the greatest play in the world. Of course, Rotom could also max Flare, keep Rotom alive as well. I don't necessarily need to be in the rain. Once Max is over and once Trick Room is over, I got a +2 Xerneas. And as long as Callie's not taking knockouts, we're fine. I personally do believe Rotom goes into Jellicent here. Like, to me, that was the play. I could have Resonanced the Jelly. There was really no reason for me to Resonance the Jellicent though, because now next turn I just get the Freeze Dry Dazzling Gleam and that drops it. And behind screen, Xerneas is not going to die to whatever Calyrex has. It's not Life Orb Cali, it's Heavy Slam Cali. Xerneas is actually... I actually don't know the weight of Xerneas. I believe it was heavy enough to not be able to be Skydropped. So I believe this Heavy Slam is not really a big threat. That Resonance actually did a respectable amount. So are we looking at potentially Weakness Policy here? I don't know what you do to proc it, but I could see it. And Twisted Dimensions are going to return to normal. A Dazzling Gleam and a Freeze Dry will pick up the Jelly. We saw how much the Freeze Dry did to the first time the Jellicent. Freeze Dry is probably pretty close on its own. Don't really necessarily need the chip, but this guarantees Trick Room does not go back up. And with Xerneas behind screens at full health, I think the game is over now. Like, Xerneas just sitting here right now, really looking good. Like, they're going to need a lot to stop this. And what I like, what's interesting, right? Because back in 2019 and 2016, it was, okay, what do they have to stop Xerneas? You know, before it was like Roar, Incineroar, Clear, Smog, and Moonbeam. They were on like almost every team. Maybe a Taunt here, a Haze over here, right? They have techs to stop this kind of stuff, right? That did a lot. I should have doubled the Cali. But anyways, killing the Jellicent was worth it. Right? But now with Xerneas not being as relevant in the meta, a lot of teams don't have that stuff anymore. And here's a Heavy Slam. How much is this really going to do? Yeah, through screen, Xerneas eats that for breakfast. So, Xerneas, for breakfast, eats that up. And now we're just Dazzling Gleam. And Lapras is actually faster than Rotom, so I can just simply Hydro Pump. Why this Rotom is min speed, I don't know. I'm not going to bother doing what I did the last time, going for the Perish endgame when there's really no reason to go for the Perish endgame. So, we're going to pick up another win with Xerneas here. And, guys, Xerneas. Xerneas 4-0. I haven't gone 4-0 with the team forever on Crazy Climb. It's been a while. But never thought I'd do it with Xerneas in 2021. But we're not going to check that team. It was kind of wild. I would be curious. And maybe I should have. I'm just going to put the rating up on the screen, guys. But with that, guys, thank you guys so much for... I don't know, guys. I have no outro. Every outro I start just sounds terrible. But either way, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will catch you guys in the next video.